What's going on YouTube? Touch of Malice here, bringing you another in-depth review. Today's video is all about Saladin. Saladin, who I believe is the most versatile hero in the entire game, as I have found out through my experience that I have been able to fit him in so many different lineups. So in these in-depth review videos, we go over some of their talents, their skills, stars, what they do. Do I think you should invest in them? If you do, how far do you go? Who do I run them with? And all that stuff. All that just jazz. So, without further ado, let's get into the video. So, Saladin is a martial archer cav hero who specializes in support and rage recovery. Let's jump into his skills and take a look at exactly what that entails. So, Triple Clash. 400 rage cost, 3 target AoE, 600% might damage with a 200 initial rage upon entering battle. Off the rip, you can obviously tell that this skill is hot dog water. Sure, it might be a nice amount of damage for an AoE, but with a 400 rage cost, after your first skill activation, you're going to have a really long time to pop off your second skill, despite Saladin even bringing a rage engine. I just don't think it's good enough for him to be used as a primary, unless if you're running 4 or more lineups. I think 4 or more lineups is when you can start to talk about Saladin primary. Signature skill. Increases your troops' rage by a numerical amount. When your commander uses signature active or secondary strike skills, recovers more rage, that rage being a numerical amount. Keep in mind that my skills are not maxed out. As you can see right here, as I upgrade them, the number is going to change. So the value of your skills, the percentages, and the numerical amounts is going to change depending on how high the level of the skill is. Fervor. For the first 18 seconds after entering battle, increase all your heroes' might, armor, and strategy by a numerical amount, and increase your troops' rage by another numerical amount per second. Roar of Victory. It's pretty basic. Launch a normal attack, deal might damage, and increase your troops' rage. This is probably one of his better skills, just a single target DPS rage gain. His other skills he has are War Tactic and Rage Strike, we're going to talk about later. Weak Spot Attack, Tactical Pursuit. So, now that you have his skills, let's take a look at his stars. First star, increases Fury of Sand, extra rage by 0.5 every second. Look, I'm not going to spend too long talking about his stars. His third star is when your commander uses this signature active or secondary strike skill, Fury of the Sands, increases your troops' rage by an extra 10 points. Fifth star is when your commander uses the signature active or secondary strike skill, Fury of the Sands, increase your commander's damage by 30% for 6 seconds. Fifth star is very good, I won't lie. But let's just cut to the chase. I'm going to tell you straight up that the reason why I haven't invested any stars in the Saladin is because I believe he falls into that 1-star category. He has served me with what his skills do. He has served me so great, strictly just as a rage engine, and I do not mean that in any way to be like, I'm not kidding. Like, that is the only way that he's serving great, is just a pure rage engine. He's there to just pump out rage, generate those skills, get those skills to fire off quicker. Because of that reason, a lot of his power comes from his skills itself. You don't need to invest stars into him. You really don't. You can if you want, go ahead. But Saladin is honestly great at 0 stars, in my opinion. So, these are the talents I have on him. I'm going really heavy on might. I'm really heavy on might with Saladin. And there's a reason for that. And I'm about to talk about that right now. And that's the build I use with Saladin. With Saladin, I have what's called a hit and run build. It's hit and run. Who do I use Saladin with? Well, if we go down over to my parade, this is what I'm using for Saladin. You can see, if you know what you're doing in this game, you can already see just the astronomical amount of value that this will bring you for the low investment. When I'm talking about low investment, this is an astronomical amount of value. Teamer, 1 star. Saladin, I'm going to tell you, I believe he is one of the 1-star or less heroes. 0 stars. I've said this in the past. Bellevue at 0 stars, she's honestly good. When you talk about 0 stars, she's just a vanilla DPSer is what she feels like. She's just there to just output single target damage, and it feels good. So, how does this hit and run build work exactly? Well, Teamer at 1 star, for the first 9 seconds after entering battle, increases the damage boost provided by Annihilation Blade by an additional 10%, increase the damage reduction by an additional 5%. This buff is gone after 9 seconds. So this is actually not good for rallying. It's not good for dueling because you're going to be fighting to the death, most likely. And those fights, duels are long. But with it being 9 seconds, what you don't understand is that when you disengage, you get your battle report, the battle's over, your rage resets, you re-engage, this skill, this 9 seconds is right back in action. So, Teamer has a very high rage upon entering battle. It's 150 on a 250 rage cost. That's very, very good. Teamer hits. Saladin's out there for the first 18 seconds to just increase your troops' rage per second. Pump out that first skill faster for Teamer. Disengage, hit again, disengage, hit again. It's a hit and run build. You sometimes, if it pops really fast, you can even get 2 cycles off before your enemy has just gotten his first off. So that's how I use Saladin, is as a hit and run and a pure raid engine. But it doesn't end there. It really doesn't end there. Because Saladin is a martial, he works good with warriors. You're not going to get the bonus damage from having 3 warriors, but if you put Might on Saladin and you have a warrior primary, Might is going to work with Saladin. And because he's martial, he's also going to work with strategy as well. He works with strategy as well as cavalry. You can have Saladin with Lu Bu, which, if you're using Lu Bu, I would go more for a rage engine build rather than a hit and run build. I call this the hit and run build because you're just going to have a lot of rage at the beginning of the battle. You can get out and then get back in. A better rage engine would probably be Enraged Strike, just because it's a single target that happens off of a trigger chance and you get a numerical amount of rage. So that's going to be better for maybe something like Lu Bu, where you want to stay in the battle for as long as possible to manipulate the field by just throwing out that 5 target AoE. But for Teamer, I use a hit and run build with Saladin. Now, enough about Teamer though. Back to Saladin. When I say he's the most versatile hero, let me just show you something. Cavalry, we already have that down, that he works with cavalry. Archers, we already have that down. Martial, he's going to work good with might stats and strategy stats. We have that down. So, with Saladin being a 0-star investment, and primarily you just want his skills, really, I took Saladin out for a spin with a Lagertha primary and his skills to just generate rage. We're helping Lagertha pump out her active skill more because of her low rage initial cost. Now, is this going to be like super amazing? No, it's not, because when you step into the realm of mixing it with different troop types that he doesn't work well with, there's a chance that you're probably going to notice its performance dwindle a little bit. But you have to remember that Saladin as a whole is essentially just a rage engine, is all he is. He's there to generate rage. You compare him with swordsmen, cavs, pikes, marshals, warriors, tacticians, and he works great as that purpose, to just there to help you pop your skills off better. So without a doubt, I really do believe that Saladin is a must grab for all players. It doesn't matter if you're using archers, cavs. I would even recommend players to try him out, to just throw him in there with a swordsman or pikeman. Super versatile, works off a lot of different attributes, a lot of different stats, generates rage. He's going to help your primary a lot. So yeah, I think he's a must grab, and the best part about him is that you don't even have to invest stars into him. You really don't. Yeah. So there you have it, is my Saladin in-depth review. My name is Touch of Malice, and if you enjoyed this video, you know what to do. I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.